Yeah, good afternoon. Bang bang radio. Kevin Lane, yeah, he used to make hooch, and he used to say that he used to do orange hooch and lemon, all different types. Yeah, he was in an ACAT, double ACAT. I should imagine it was virtually impossible to do it, but they must have had places to hide it. Yeah, because double ACAT is double ACAT, and they don't let you get away with nothing. They're always on your case, always checking you in, checking you out. So it's quite hard to do what he did. But I can imagine it was good hooch, you know what I mean? But because I was in the kitchen with quite a few people, there was maybe two on each wing. They had about four or five wings. So there was two people on each. You got the kitchen that's like, it don't take all of one wing, two of each wing, yeah, go in the kitchen. So I was in the kitchen with another mate of mine, and because everyone wants hooch on my wing, I used to be a baker. Because I was in the baker's, I used to get the yeast, yeah. So I used to always smuggle yeast out, bits of yeast, put it down my trousers in a bag, bump yeast, get away with it easy. You got another guy who come out of apples, oranges, potatoes, and all currants and all these sort of things. So we used to make different hooch, like currant hooch, you know what I mean, currants, and then you'd make a potato hooch. Then you make a strawberry hooch and a raspberry hooch. You make all different sorts. So when you're in the kitchen, you get all these things, yeah. And so the hooches used to be really good, and there used to be big bottles of them everywhere. And so Searing had its own hiding places. Listen, the screws really knew, but they let it go. They didn't want to cause no problems. They had it easy on Searing, good screws on Searing. They didn't want to find it, and of course, maybe we'd let them find something. We'd put something out, and they'd find it easy. So they're happy with that, you know what I mean? So we had what was it, a potato hooch, and it was strong, mate. It's like Scotch. It was so strong. Jesus, stunk. It was the business, yeah. And they mixed it with something else. I'm not into the hooch. I don't drink it, but I'm around when they're making it, you know, with the yeast, and it's unbelievable what they do, yeah. But they ferment it, keep taking the top off, letting the gas out, putting it back again. It's so good the way they do it, really professional, and it's what goes on in prisons. But at Albany, it was the business, yeah. So my wing, C wing, I used to be in the kitchen, get this out that, and my mate would get something out anyway. So this particular night, everybody's in my cell having a drink. You've got Billy McGee, Mary, and Mary for reasons that obviously you know the reasons, and and then knocking on my door, knocking on my window, saying that this guy George Cockle is going to bash you up if she doesn't have a gangbang. So listen, we're all in there. I mean, I had a little drink of it, obviously, come on, but we're all in there. Toby Ludlow, Laurie Mann, Laurie Gibbons, all in there having a drink, yeah. And so they're all saying it's a liberty what he's doing. You know, we don't have bullying. We never used to have bullying in Searing. Anybody who bullied, we'd get together and go and sort them out, yeah. Toby was the worst. He would sort them out in a bad way, but I was going maybe just give a clump and sort it out that way, yeah. No bullies, mate. We wouldn't allow bullies on the wing. So, because Mary's giving it a large portion of value, I love you, and all that crying games, you know what I mean, as they do, I said I'd sort it out. And so, I didn't say this before. What happened? Me, Togi, was talking about it. Togi was going into one. Said it's white liberty's what he's doing. Bullying, we can't stand bullying, mate. It's got to be sorted. So I said, look, you ain't going to sort it tonight. That goes without saying, you know what I mean? We're all having a drink, and you've got to leave it. We can't go upstairs and start causing problems. So we do it in the morning or whatever. I'm in the kitchen, so I can go in more or less what time I want to go in. I'm in the baker's, so I get someone else going in for me. There's two of us in the wing, so I get him to just go in. I'll go in late. It's no problem, yeah. So in the morning, me and Togi go up to this George Cockle cell, and he's not around. So we look around, can't find him. Come down the stairs. He's now in the waiting for the breakfast to come up so he can get his food. So he's in the dining room as such, yeah. But it's a television room where they do all the food on the hot plate. So he's sitting down in there, and so Togi walks up to him. See Togi leans over to him. And then I come over and say, listen, Billy McGee, right? You leave him alone, yeah? Mary, yeah. But we didn't say Billy McGee, we said Mary. I said, look, Mary, you leave Mary alone, yeah? You don't be fucking threatening it, you don't be doing this, you don't be doing that. You don't bully, yeah? You don't bully, you leave her alone. So George Cockle, being George Cockle, he stood up to have a go at Togi. He's lucky that Togi never had something on him. I played it, stuck it, and he don't care. So he just stood up and boom, hit him on the chin and sat him back down in the chair. He was unconscious, just sat him down back in the chair and left him, walked away. So I thought, really, that'll do the job, that'll sort it all out. You know, he knows how far to go, he knows next time it's going to get worse. If Togi talks about Togi's going to stay him up. I go to work, get some steaks, nick some steaks, come up to the wing, put the steaks into the oven, start cooking the steaks. Yeah, me, Peter Kelly, and a few other people are going to have the steaks. Big Peter Kelly's my mate. He's in there too. We had some proper people in there, Lovey Gibbons. There's some good people where he was there. And so I'm doing the steaks. All of a sudden the alarm bell goes off. I think maybe I don't know. It could be me, you know. But you've got to be sure. Take the steaks off the top of the oven. Put them inside the oven so no one was season when they're rushing around. Yeah. So they're all rushing by me. Loads of screws are rushing by me. What the fucking hell was going on there? Well, Billy McGee, Mary, and George Cockle, they work together. Yeah. They work in a shop called the Wood Mill, and Billy McGee is on the lathes. Her job is on the lathe cutting, you know, but he got chisels as well. And so anyway, George Cockle, thinking he can be the bully, whether or not he's gone up to Billy McGee to say, look, I'm sorry, it won't happen again. Evidently he didn't go up to Billy McGee to say, sorry, it won't happen again. He went up to Billy McGee and said, listen, but getting people on me and all that crap, you know, you're in trouble with all that. And went to give her a right hand, or might have already given her through a punch or whatever. Billy McGee's now defending himself with his chisels. So Billy McGee has stabbed this George Cockle about 14 times with a 1/4-inch chisels, yeah? Well, you know, you can imagine the state of George Cockle, especially chisels. I mean, this was a big chisel, this was like 1/4-inch chisels, so they're thin. So a thin chisel goes straight in, and it isn't the blade on the outside, it's the blade on the inside. And they're like really big chisels. I should imagine they're about 7 or 8 inches blades on them, you know? And like the size of the thing on it, yeah? So they're going in, you can imagine, can't you? So when the alarm bell went off and all rushing around, I'm there at the ovens, and they're all going in. I thought I'd get my steak out now. And as I put it on top of the oven, crash, man, the fucking screws, they come from everywhere, yeah? And they're bringing Billy McGee. Next thing I see was Billy McGee. Billy McGee had long hair, like curly hair, and it's all raggled and zabbled, twirled again. And as Billy McGee's walking past me with his screws, right, Billy McGee's got all blood all over him or her, everywhere. And he's got tits, he's got massive tits, you know, not massive, but big enough for tits, you know what I mean? And it's got blood everywhere. So I'm looking at Bill's pure white, Billy McGee, Mary's pure white. And I can't believe what's going on here, you know what I mean? All of a sudden, about 10 minutes later, I see Billy McGee's gone. I think, fucking hell, I can't believe it, you know? And what's the problem? But all of a sudden you see the problem when you see Billy McGee, George Cockle, come through the wing on a stretcher with a white sheet over it up to his head, and there's little marks all over the sheet, blood marks all over the sheet. So the blood's it's not like soaked the whole sheet. There's only little bits of blood everywhere. Yeah? And you think, wow, what the fuck's going on here? And the next thing you know, everybody's banged up. I'm in the kitchen. I can go back to the kitchen, but my steak is left I put my steak in the oven, it's left in the oven, so it's going to go. Somebody's going to nick it, I don't blame them. I'll go back to the wing, back to the kitchen, and all of a sudden, the screws come into the kitchen, talking to the PO in there, and the PO's okay. It's shut. Dinner's not until whatever it's going to be, late one or whatever it was, yeah. So we've all got to, anyway, so the PO sort of tells Taylor, who was on the bakers with us, what's going on. So I know what's going on because I've seen it. So we say, well, what happened, mate? He went, no, I can't tell you, it's all, I can't say anything. I went, oh, it must be that little bit of trouble I see when I was at the wing with Billy McGee and that's George Cockle. He went, what, you see it? I said, no, I didn't see it. What I see was Billy McGee coming back from the wood mill, all hair everywhere, blood all over his white t-shirt. And I see George Cockle coming in on a stretcher with all blood over the sheet. So obviously something's gone on there, you know what I mean? Well, then he said to me, he said, well, George Cockle's gone to the hospital in Parkhurst and he died. He's dead. Evidently, Billy McGee stabbed him 7 or 8 times, but Billy McGee stabbed him 14 times. And Billy McGee's in balance of trouble. And I kept my mouth shut and I had to go to court. I had to go to court for Billy McGee. Billy McGee was at Winchester. They kept him there, or kept her there. And so I went to court and said what I had to say. There's no point in sticking up for George Cockle. George Cockle's dead. And George Cockle was a bully and he should not have bullied. I mean, after me and Togi had already talked to him and I clumped him and knocked him out and sat back on the chair, you'd have thought he'd have learned his lesson instead of going into the woodmill to have a go at Billy McGee, you know, and bully him again. And sooner or later you're gonna come unstuck. And the worst of it was that when you're in court, yeah, and you get to hear that Billy McGee chopped a security guard's hand off with a machete to take the bag, right, to take the money. So Billy McGee is not a nice person at all. As they portrayed it, Billy McGee's like gay, very feminine, but he was. But because he done that, you think, well, he's in trouble now. But the only saving grace, he got found guilty, but the judge, when he summed up, I wasn't there. I was downstairs, but I'm hearing from other people that was there, like Scrooge that was in there, taking me back to Albany. They were sitting there. They were saying that the judge, on his, he's given whatever he's given and then he got the prosecution and the judge and the defence, but everybody was on Billy McGee's side. The judge was as gay as they come. The prosecution was as gay as they come. The defence counsel for Billy McGee, I don't know what that was, I don't know if it was gay or whatever, but Billy McGee got guilty of 2 years, got guilty of diminished responsibility on the murder thing. 2 years. The judge gave her 2 years diminished responsibility. It's madness. She stabbed him 14 times with a quarter inch chisel. And she chopped the security out. And it just goes to show you, doesn't it? That little bit of gay thing, they get away with it, you know? And when I went back to the wing, back to the prison, they drove me straight back on the ferry. Didn't stay in Winchester. It was good enough to say, no, we're going to take you back now, mate. Took me back, and I went, when I told everybody, we're sitting in my cell, and Togi comes down with a great big container full of hooch, yeah? But this one's apple. He's made a big apple one, and it's strong as anything. The apples, the currants in it, everything, it's strong. And in my cell that night, everyone's got pissed. Even I got pissed, you know, because I thought 2 years is diminished responsibility is a result, you know what I mean? It's the right result. And, you know, I was just saying that Kevin Lane, he makes hooch. He was making hooch while he was in prison, and he wants to put it on the shelf so people buy it. Believe me, you know what he's doing, Kevin, is a good thing. You know, because the hooches we used to make in prison were better than most drinks you get out on the street today. I mean, they were made proper. They're made proper. They're made with hooch. They're made with all sorts of things. I mean, come on, you can have currants, potatoes, everything you want to do, you can make as long as you've got the yeast. If you've got the yeast and the sugar, you can make whatever you like. And got the time to take the lid off, let the gas out, put it back on, put it on, hide it. And the best thing about making a hooch, the best thing about making a hooch, not so drinking it. It's not the drinking. The best thing about making a hooch is the hiding part of it. When you hide it, take the tiles down, you put it in there, put it in the toilet, put it this, and everybody's moving it. It's never in one place. It's always being moved. You're not supposed to move it. It's supposed to be settled down, so it settles, But we used to move it all the time, And I mean, Kevin Lane, being a double A cat or triple A cat, I should think it's virtually impossible to make it in prison because of what he was an A cat, double A cat, but where he was, it must have been a lot easier to make it. He might have been a lower cat then, he might have been a different category, because he definitely would have got away with a double A cat or triple A cat, no way in a million years. And they come in your cell every hour or every half hour, checking you out, move you on all the time, and they're checking. I mean, listen, double A cat, triple A cat, if you're on one of them wings, them wings are like when you go to if you go to an operation, spotless, absolutely clean, and they're looking for things all the time. So they don't only just walk around the wing, they're pulling that, and then, as you leave your cell, they're in your cell, they ain't got permission to go into the cell and turn it upside down, mate. They do what they want to do. Triple A, double A cat. So I can't see Kevin Lane doing it in them sort of double A cat, triple A cat wings. He must have been doing it when he was a lower one, maybe a D cat, maybe a C cat, maybe. I should, because ours was a B, C cat. No, it was a B cat. Albany was a B cat. And even as a B cat, it's virtually impossible to hide it because the burglars come in, back the screws. It was so good on my wing, C wing, they used to let you know. They used to always tell you, the burglars are coming in, whatever you got, hide it. Because they were so good. It's like Chelmsford, oh what? Chelmsford prison. I mean, I was in the kitchen there. I was in the bakers as well as in Chelmsford. So I was to give Alan Dixon and all the others, George Jones, and all give them all the yeast, and they used to make their own hooch. But because you got people like Ronnie Bender, who was in there, I mean, we had Scotch, vodkas, you had the actual real thing. But even Ronnie Bender, the real thing was put aside when the hooch come out, because the hooch was absolutely 99.9% the business, pure alcohol, pure alcohol, the best you could possibly have. And it was like everybody loved it. You get drunk on a beaker full of it, not the big beaker, the little rims, beakers, the glasses or whatever. Yeah, mate, and fair play to Kevin Lane. I hope he gets on well. I hope he gets off of this whatever's happened to him in this this thing what's going on at the minute. Hopefully it's not as bad as what people make it out to be. It's just a little silly thing, and maybe just one little slap on the wrist and let him out again in a couple of days' time. Anyway, bang bang on that one. Nice one. Bye.